Man, I'm happy. Got Flora in the building. Somebody in the old school.
Right, you hear them pipes?
That El Camino.
That's horsepower.
That's that El Canigro.
Sure miss my truck. You hear me?
Man,
I
you
have
all
to
sound
get-
like that?
I have to get over now and just let people get the road. Like, hey, I'm in this little V6. I can't do nothing.
You had a pickup truck?
Just, oh yeah, I've always driven trucks. That's all I. Yeah, but since I live in Terrell and I work so far out, I had to.
The gas.
All right, we about to
that
start, y'all.
gas.
Need you a hybrid.
All right, y'all. We about to
Ridiculous.
start, y'all.
Yes.
Three, two.
Good evening, everyone. It is the Lion Experience podcast. This is the last show of season 9, and tonight we're talking about resolutions, commitments, and vows. Today is December the 27th, 2024, and remember, nothing is off limits, okay? The purpose of this podcast segment is to communicate values wrapped around the beginning of the new year resolutions, commitments to self, and saying I do to your significant other. Remember, tonight be transparent and nothing is off limits. I want to start the show off tonight by recognizing an amazing person,
Mm-hmm.
an amazing person in the room tonight. I want to tell you a little bit about her. I got the wrong glasses on, but it's okay. All right, so this lady, this beautiful queen, is new to our show, and
Yeah,
her name
amiga.
is Miss Flo. She is a shelter director of Mosaic Family Services. She helps with domestic violence programs. She does domestic violence and child welfare. She helps on many committees. She helps build self-esteem, self-worth, body image issues, healthy relationships, mental, physical, spiritual, and emotional well-being. Flo uses the word of God to empower, rebuild, and reconstruct lives. So you guys put your hands together for my girl Flo.
Flow.
In the building.
Hey guys, thank you for having me, babe.
Yes, you're
Welcome
welcome.
aboard.
Thank you.
I'm officially a part of the family.
Yes,
you
I'm
are.
so excited. Thank
You
you
was a
so
Appreciate you
part
much.
on the
showing up.
first day you came. You came on the
Uh-huh.
show with Dwayne. And when we locked in, you locked in as my sis. So you've been in the
Thank you.
family, but it's official.
Yes, it's official.
Thank you
It's
for-
a blessing.
Aren't you glad you showed up, Flora?
I'm so glad you guys are like officially my family here in
Uh-huh.
Dallas, Texas.
Yes, Lord.
Thank you.
Oh.
And
Yes.
shout out to Kavaka because she the reason I met you.
Yes, Kavaka,
Mhm.
I love you.
Hey,
Yes,
come on.
Lord.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday, girl.
That's my sis, man.
That's what it's all about. So, Flo, tell us why you want to be a part of this podcast and how can you be an asset to this podcast?
Oh my, you're gonna put me in a hot seat.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Ain't no hot
yep.
seat.
Well, I mean, so I want to be a part of the podcast because I feel like I have a lot of wisdom, a lot of knowledge on
Mhm.
just on different topics that I can, come in and share my perspective, my
Yes.
insight. I want to network. I want to be around people. I want to build a
Mhm.
community, and I want to empower others too. And I want to learn and grow at the same time.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So yeah, this is why I want to do this.
And you a kingdom builder too, so
And I'm a
that's
kingdom
another
builder,
piece.
yes.
I love it.
Yes. So I know we welcomed our girl Flo, but I do want to introduce you guys. I am Millie, one of the hosts here at the podcast.
Millie.
I thank y'all all for being
Millie
here.
gotcha.
And I do.
She does.
To my right, we have my boy Cadero in the building.
What's up?
The
Peace, peace,
chosen
peace.
one.
The chosen
What's
one,
up?
aka our brother, our big brother.
Appreciate you. Appreciate
The
you.
king.
Yes.
All right. And then we also have, we talked to Flo. We also have, next to Flo, we have Miss Rita.
Oh, Rita.
Hey, Rita. Sorry, guys. It's a
Bottle
Cuban. It comes out
Rita
sometimes.
got
Yeah, I
a
love
10.
it.
Rita been on the cruise.
Okay.
Hey,
Ooh, Rita.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Feliz cumpleaños.
Happy birthday. Yes. How you feel, Rita?
I feel great.
And look
Do you?
I
refreshed.
feel great.
You look
yes.
refreshed.
Yes, I
As
needed to
always.
get out there. Thank
Oh
you.
my
As
God. I
always.
love it.
Give me some sun. Get my feet in the
Mm.
sand.
Ooh, peace.
Yes.
I
Where did
just
you go?
feel
Where did you
like-
go? Where did you
Went to the
go?
Bahamas.
Oh yes.
Mhm.
Okay.
Doing all
I'll
that
come
life.
back.
Mm-hmm.
I really didn't.
But
But I had to celebrate Christmas with the kids, so I guess I, had to cut that short.
Right. Yeah.
Look, Rita, a Christmas baby.
Yes.
That's what's up. That's what's up. We got Kamisha in the house. What's up, Kamisha?
Yo.
Hey,
Yes.
everybody.
Model
You look so
babe. Model
beautiful.
babe.
Thank you. Happy to be here, guys. I'm happy to be here.
Got them,
Yes.
got them pearly whites. She look like God. I love you.
You know, that darkness brings it out of me.
So, Kamisha, you brought someone with you to the show. Who did you bring?
I did, guys. Listen, people always know about Kamisha
She
and
got the three
Kamisha, the
kings.
model.
Yeah.
I have 3 grown sons in the building. So I am a boy's mom.
Oh,
Okay.
right.
And we're going to start with my oldest, which is Cedric. He go by CJ.
How y'all doing?
Hey.
Boy, you
What's
look, you
up,
got,
CJ?
Boy, CJ got his mama whole face.
And
You
look,
your mama, baby.
That's the
Wow.
clone. That's the male clone.
That's the
Boy.
male clone.
Yes.
Everybody say we look like twins.
Man,
I'll
for
take
real.
it.
Yes.
I'll take it. He had my very first grandson, which is Vincent. So
Oh,
very
congratulations.
first grandchild.
Okay.
man.
So yes, he has my 3 glam babies. Well, actually 4 now.
Oh, wow.
He has two girls.
2 girls, 2 boys.
Okay.
Nice.
Expanding the
That would
family.
be Cedric Jr. And the next one is my baby Cortland is what I call him.
How y'all doing?
Hey,
How y'all doing?
Nelson.
That's the suave of the group.
Okay.
Now you talking about
Yes,
Turl. He's another. He goes down to Tyler, Texas.
Tyler, Texas.
Okay.
So that's
Tyler.
his neck of the woods when he's not in Dallas.
Oh, we neighbors, and you passing him on to the crib, man. Yes, sir.
And that's the baby. So he's had like my granddaughter, the youngest, almost the youngest of the group. Corey has the youngest one, but her name is Coraline, and she's gorgeous. She a handful. She run all of us. But yeah. So he has his baby girl, and then last but not least, we have Corey Nelson.
Corey Nelson.
Hey, Corey
Everybody
Nelson.
doing?
Sounds
Corey,
famous.
yes.
Yeah.
Corey has 5 of my glam babies, and
Feeble.
Corey's the middle son. Corey's my son that played in the NFL.
Nice.
So
Wow.
he's my ex-NFL player. He done it all, did it all. 50, what was that, Super Bowl 50? Super Bowl 50
wow.
champs.
Super Bowl 50, baby.
Yeah.
What's
So
happening,
we,
man?
yes. So
Yeah,
we
appreciate
know
y'all.
some football players over on this
Alpha
side of
male,
town. We
boy.
know a lot of them. So
Man.
these are the Nelson boys, went to Skyline High School.
Skyline, what's up, man?
Yes, they all went to
Yeah.
college. So, only one completed, which is okay. But hey, they all went, tried, and
hey,
did.
they
Matters,
still
right.
performed on a collegiate level. That's
They
how I
do,
say it.
yes.
Period.
And they're great young men, God-fearing
Awesome.
churchmen.
Yes.
I
So
love it. I love
this
it.
is my crew. This is my clan. These are my babies.
What's
Welcome,
happening, man?
guys.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Appreciate it.
Welcome.
Yeah. Hey,
So-
Hey, Corey was on BMF too. I ain't lying.
Y'all, we gonna hear that all night tonight, y'all.
Y'all think I'm lying? He gonna be like, he was on there for real. That's a twin, man.
Right. That's what I said. His name sound famous.
Watch
Corey Nelson.
somebody get on there gonna say, "Oh,
I saw him before. I saw him
Man.
before.
Right.
we can't hold nothing in." So it's, "Oh, pull that picture up beside him. Tell him I'm lying." Why she gonna be in the street? Gonna say, "Hey, Kim Folk, where Lala at?"
That's funny. We do want to do a couple of business highlights as we always do. The first one is going to be Unique Visions in DeSoto, Texas. If you have not, please go and check them out. Our beautiful guest was on here. The owner, she's amazing. She can literally
Yes.
create any and everything that you want, from birthday parties to graduations, school functions, private functions, whatever it is. She can make it happen. All right. You can rent the
Absolutely.
space out. You can do whatever you want to do. If you want to just rent it by the hour and do your own decor, there's options. So she has it if you need it. All right. So
Absolutely.
book Unique Visions in DeSoto. And then also we have Bernice's Cajun Kitchen.
Come on.
Listen.
Bernice.
Talk about
If
it.
you haven't tried it, I'm talking shrimp pasta. I'm talking praline cheesecake.
That
I'm
cheesecake
talking
off the chain,
I'm talking
boy.
anything you want, you can get it. And you can get a plate, you can order catered meals for your family. Any event that you have, we still have New Year's, and of course, Valentine's Day. We got Mardi Gras. We
I
got
paid for
Black
mine.
History Month. So let's support Black businesses,
Yes.
okay?
And what's the name of her business?
So that is Bernice's Cajun Kitchen. So
Okay.
make sure y'all reach out.
Y'all gonna hear that soundbite in the back when that fat boy say, "Give me some."
Rita,
That
do me
fool
a
good.
favor. Can you do the business highlight for Unique Visions one more time?
Absolutely. Unique Visions in DeSoto, Texas. Reach out and make sure if you have an event, birthday parties, weddings, bridal, graduation, you name it, she's got it. So reach out, rent the space, patio, indoor, It's a one-stop
Shout
shop.
out to Unique Vision.
Yes,
Yeah.
Ingrid.
And she indeed has a unique vision.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And she does a lot of stuff for the kids too as well.
Yeah,
So that one
Absolutely.
she just did for Halloween, that was amazing.
That was amazing. Yes,
I hate I
love
missed
it.
because I got triple booked. I was just sitting there like, dang. I'm sitting up there looking at the highlights. It was
Yep.
amazing.
Yeah, give back
So
for
shout
the
out
teachers,
to
the
Ingrid.
kids. Ingrid, yes.
Ingrid Wilburn.
Hey, Ingrid.
I want to slide
Go
a
ahead.
shameless plug in. This brother blessed me today, and I told him about the podcast. He was like,
Okay.
"Boy, I love this."
What's his name?
His name is Eris Skelton.
Can we add him in the chat?
Yeah, I sent it to him already.
Okay, good.
He's with Skirby Wear. So if you go to the Shops of Terror that used to be the Tanger Outlet, he's in the corner by the chocolate factory. So I go in there to buy this shirt I have on now,
Mhm.
and I got a hoodie and something else. I had like $70 worth of stuff, but I'm giving him information. He was like, He put it in the bag and give it to me. No, you ain't paying for nothing. I said, no, I want this. Put it in the bag and give it to me. Finally, I said, look, man, I got to pay for something, Brent. You done gave me everything except the drawers. Because he sell underwear, too. So I said, at least let me buy these. So I said, man, when we come on here, I'm going to give him a shout out because he's
Please do.
and I tell people this, man, stop just saying you black owned because I said something to him. He said, bro, you know what? I don't say that because you limiting yourself.
Yeah.
He said mostly white people buy from me. And he literally showed me his sales chart and he got a great product. So when you get a chance, if y'all want the information, I'll send it to you. So shout out to my guy. I call him Mr. Skeleton with Skirby Wear.
Skirby Wear. Terrell, Texas.
Terrell.
All right, Terrell, Texas.
Where you from, Terrell?
We in the country.
All right, Rita, you want to get you ready to talk about
Oh,
it?
I'm ready.
You ready to vibe out?
I'm ready.
So what's our topic?
Tonight we're talking resolutions, vows, and commitments. We are
Yes.
approaching the new year, and everybody has an idea of what they want to see for themselves in the future. So
Yes.
we're going to get down to the nitty gritty, answer a few questions, and figure out what we really feeling.
All right, we're gonna let Cadero pick the first question.
First question.
So there's questions about. Okay, let me give a preview so we don't get sad. Let me warn you a little bit. We're talking about resolutions
Oh, I
as
was
far
about
as
to say.
goals.
Mhm.
We're talking about resolutions that are that are given at funerals. We're talking about vows that you vow and commit to a loved one, and we're talking about commitments to ourselves. So the resolutions at the funeral can kind of be a little touchy, but it's okay. That's the point. We need to talk about those things.
We're giving the resolutions.
Go ahead.
This one says the role of family and loved ones. How can someone bring up the topic of funeral relations with family members without making it uncomfortable or morbid?
I think we should talk about life as a process. You know, they always talk about what Dame Dash, I hate to reference, but he said
Dame Dash
life
actually smart.
is the dash.
Yeah,
He
he
said
is.
life is the dash. And so at the end of the day, we all have a start date, we have an end date.
Yes.
The goal is to live the best life you can in the time that you're given.
Mm-hmm.
So understand that one day we're not going to be here, and letting your children know, like, it's okay. You're going to be sad. It may hurt a little bit, but it's part of life's cycle. And so starting from very, very young ages, I think you need to let people know, like, life ends. It's okay. We're sad. We'll grow. But in the meantime, I have ideas of what I want when I go. So, so please follow suit accordingly.
Yeah.
And it's much better to let somebody know when they're in a good mood how to handle a situation versus waiting till it all falls.
On their lap.
Yeah, and now they're depressed and they're still trying to make a way, and then having to deal with everything else that comes with that, because it's a lot that happens in that process.
Absolutely. I to piggyback on that, and it's funny you say that. I had my mom
It ain't that funny.
probably about last year. I'm like, put all of your personal documents in one place.
Yep.
Now I've given her, like, mind you, I'm a tax advisor, giving her all the tips on what to do. Put everything in one place. Make sure your policies, all this. Told her to do it, and then I still haven't done it. I've half done mine. But I did. Didn't I tell you, Cortland, or who was it? I was like, I'm going to have my papers in a certain place, and I need you guys to know where they're at, but I haven't given them the spot yet. But I got to do better. We have to do better.
Yes.
And it's good to have those important documents put in a place to where if something happens, your loved one will know where to find those items.
Yes.
So I do have to do better, and that all three of mine know, though.
That's a blessing, though. At least you prepared.
Oh, yeah.
By me being a kingdom builder already, I do a lot of funerals too. I think the hardest one I had to do a eulogy for my godfather. That was rough. But I always come in being real. My motto is if you be real, you can heal. So if you go in there with an awareness that lands on people and you can see the without it being so sad. Most people that don't know, you have to tell them, to be absent from the bodies, to be present with God, but you also have to get them. When they leave there, what can you drop in their spirit that'll wake them up? Okay, outside of just, man, we got to do better. Joe and JoJo crazy. This person crazy. So outside of going in there trying to point everybody out, what can you leave in the room? Did you leave love? Did you leave cheer?
Laughter, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then I said this at the last one. I said, when somebody passes away, the one that falls out is the one that raised the most hell. If you gave every time, I remember one of them. What was that? It was Brown. That lady was talking about, no, he pushed in the grave with her. They the most hell raisers. You in there causing trouble, stealing, just doing all kind of crap. Like you had like Satan, your daddy, and then the one that gave the life, it hurt him because you love that person. You gave everything you could to him. So what I do sometimes, I just come in there with a reality check. I give them some love and I give them some laughter. So if you make something more relatable and people can be like, oh, that is right. Then they laughing and stuff. Now I just gave you a little cheer, a wake-up call, and I didn't pierce you in the heart, but I gave you some mist. So when you come in there with that, it can make it more feasible.
I don't. Sorry if you.
No, go ahead.
But something else, I remember listening to the radio and it kind of triggered me. This lady mentioned like a fire drill, do home fire drills. And the fire drill is if anything was to happen, whether it was a natural disaster or if somebody was to pass away or if somebody was in an accident, what is the process you would take to contact power of attorney, your lawyers, whoever is over, your investments, that type of thing, whoever's over your portfolio.
POA.
Knowing who all is the contact point for each one of these things, along with your funeral arrangements, whether you want to be cremated or not, those things. Where do you find the documents? Who do I call first? And actually going down the line and making sure each member of the family knows the process, because you never know who it's going to be. It sounds crazy. Again, one of those things people may say is morbid, but I'd rather do a fire drill and know where to go versus, again, leaving my children just SOL.
That's the old saying, rather have it than I need it, and
Absolutely.
need it not have it. What was you about to say, Flora?
Oh, no, I was just going to say, I'm not trying to take everybody to church tonight, but I'm going to take you to church.
Please.
Isaiah 38
Hey, listen,
does tell us to.
You never got to say that.
never
Just
gotta
say
say
that.
that.
We go to
Take us
church.
there. Take us there.
Isaiah does tell us that we are to get our house in order, and that goes beyond just the spiritual. I mean, getting yourself together for, that time when you may not be here. You are, you're alleviating the stress off your family members and those that are close to you that have to plan that out. So, just to kind of share my story, my stepfather passed away, and my mom didn't know anything about his life insurance. She didn't anything. So the whole funeral fell on me, and I had to pay out of my pocket, and they're expensive.
Yes.
And so I mean, Isaiah calls us to get our house in order, and that goes beyond the internal spiritual part, but also just like your finances, funeral, life insurance, all of that, you have to get it in order.
That's good.
Absolutely.
I will say on yesterday, I experienced my first funeral, taking pictures at a funeral. Well, it was a wake. And it
You
was
did a good
someone
job,
I
by the
didn't.
way.
Thank you. It was somebody that I didn't know, so it was kind of. It took some getting used to, but once I got in there, I was comfortable.
Yeah.
I had to take pictures of the body, and this is a body that I don't know. I've done a funeral before, but I knew the person, I probably would touch it. I don't know. But, it's a little different. You don't know who you walking into. This is a client. You got to be professional. But I will say I can see myself doing it more often. But the response to the question is how we can talk about those things and be comfortable with it is not shying away from the conversation once the death has taken place.
Yes.
That's the perfect time for me, I think, to talk about it, while you're already vulnerable, while you're already in that state, while you're in that state of mind, and then while you're experiencing it, because you may have children. One thing, even when I was pregnant, I didn't go to funerals because spirits transfer and things like that. But even when we're adults and the kids are there, just expressing that they're going to heaven, just that process, because they understand, they can comprehend very well. So I think talking about it like how if a dog boo-boo, you put his nose in it. Just go ahead and put it out there on the table,
gotta
accept
prepare.
it what it is, so that they don't run from it and then they fester another problem because they don't know. It's nothing like my big mama passed away when I was in college, and my mom and my grandparents, they didn't tell me that she was dying. I knew she was sick, but you didn't tell me that she was actually going through the process right in those days. And she requested to see her grandkids. Y'all, I'm 36 years old, and I still have a problem, and I have fear because they held that back from me. you know, and I still deal with it. You know, I'm glad I'm not crying right now. But it's like my papa, like if he's sick, tell me that he's sick, you know, so I'll know. Don't take away that from me. Like express to me so you dealt with it, but now I gotta take this big old shock because you kept it from me. And I didn't get to come home and see my big mama before she left. And it was like, now you just gonna take that from me? You raped me. You know, everything.
They may have meant well, but at the end of the day, like you said, you know, there's another level of trauma that's added to that.
Yeah.
You know.
And sometimes to be on being around wisdom, sometimes they think that may traumatize you to see a person. No, but some people react different. Because sometimes if you see somebody life literally leaving their body and then they pass away, sometimes that mess you up more than you just finding out they passed away.
Some people like that.
Everybody react different because even like I watched my mother pass away in front of me. My brother and sister was asleep. I'm still screwed up with that, but you never know who if it would have screwed them up too. And they more jacked up her passing. They didn't see that part. So everybody reacts different. So not to their defense, but sometime in their mind, they're thinking like, man, we don't want to tell her because she in school. She might lose it at school.
Well, I lost it at school. But I lost it because I couldn't. But I also was frustrated because I couldn't digest it.
Right,
like I didn't. It was like why, I felt betrayed.
It was a lot at one time.
I felt betrayed. I felt manipulated. I just felt violated.
Do you guys feel we don't talk about it enough as a person or a culture?
Of course, yeah. I think.
Yeah.
I don't think we talk
do.
about it enough.
Sometimes we do, and sometimes people don't want to
They won't talk about it or hear it.
Because see, back in the black community, they hid a lot of stuff from us. Like my mom died at 29 and 99. I was 12. I'm 38. I'm still finding out stuff about her because everybody hid it back then. They told you stay out of grown folks' business. So if you try to ask a question, they're not finna tell you nothing. Like, Daddy, Mama, what was this? Or why they in? Boy, shut up, get out of here. And so people leaving with clues, question marks. This is a crap ton of question marks. Like, who is this person? Oh, that's your daddy on that side, or that's your cousin. I'm like, I don't know these people. You ain't never see them? No. So now we're more so trying to dig into ancestry because me and my younger brother been doing it. We finding stuff out all the way on North America. This person here. I'm like, man, we was wondering. We knew we was mixed.
He does that. He does a lot of ancestry.
Yeah, because we don't know nothing. Like I'm finding out we got Indian, Hispanic, and this and that and the third, but nobody is telling us nothing. Then when I find it out later, oh yeah, this person was this, and we looking like, why you ain't say nothing? So the answer to that question back then, no. Now a lot of people are like the younger generation. They're starting to ask questions like, I literally had to get a mural made of my mother and grandmother because my daughters start asking, what does Granny look like? What does my great granny look like? So now they get to see them in the house on a painting.
Oh, I love it.
Because they're just wondering. Because I lost mine so early, they see their other granny, but the other one come out looking like her granny, which was my mother. So now we're getting things in order so they'll know up front. Oh, even like now, back then I was around my granny, so I seen bodies early, like at 6 and 7 years old. I'm at funerals because I went with my granny, but you got kids now where you be like, don't let them see that. No, now you gotta let them see it. So when they don't freak out and they understanding this is dead, this is normal. We all gotta go here someday. But if you don't prepare them for it and they see it, they'll lose their mind.
That's good. That's real good. All right. Was that the only question on there?
The next one, it says, in your experience, how do families typically respond to the idea of funeral planning? Is there a way to make the conversation easier or less intimidating?
I think we just touched that one.
Okay.
So,
the other one says, how can people ensure that their family or that their funeral wishes are honored, especially if they've left instructions in a will or resolution?
That's it.
The power of attorney. Go ahead and write that out.
Power of attorney and have a trust, because that trust pretty much sums all that up. But a lot of times people think, like me knowing this stuff now, being a community activist for finance, I also have to mention this. Like if something happens to you, who does it go to? Who? And it was like, I ain't never think about that. Because nobody knew about insurance. And back then, we feared that. I'm like, you talking about death insurance? Boy, nobody trying to die. We don't need that.
Yeah.
Then they pass away, and it's like, oh, man.
We need that.
And then when you start understanding, well, we saw this white man walking in the hood, and he knocking on them doors. You not knowing he banking. He getting all that interest off of every house in the, it's in the hood. It's like 300 apartment doors. He knocking on 90 of them and collecting that payment every month off them people that's on Section 8. But we didn't know. And then you see an actual black insurance man. Oh, he the insurance man. Not knowing now, you get your license and stuff. You're seeing it, the benefit of them banking, but also what it does for you. So
And
like,
your family.
you know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of talk, a lot of conversation now, letting the kids know early you're covered. This is covered. When you go in college, this can pay for your college.
Yeah.
But if you don't tell nobody that early, man, it's like you fight now for information, trying to figure this stuff out.
And Terry, hey Terry Alford, listen, she always talk about the $1 million baby.
Nah, for real.
I got to get my grandkids in the $1 million. I actually want her to come and speak to my family about the $1 million baby.
What is that?
But I also want to find out more about it as well.
Insurance.
It's an
It's
insurance life
insurance.
plan.
Okay.
And you can start it like when that child, I believe she said 1 years old. And by the time they're 18, they have $1 million or more in their account. So, but
That's
shout out to
beautiful.
Terry.
Shout out to Terry Alford. All right. Flo, you want to pick the next question? Sure. Shake it up now.
Shake it, don't break
Vamos a ver
it.
lo que hay aquí en este plato. Vamos a ver.
I love it.
All right. Introduction to New Year's resolutions. Okay. What do you think makes New Year's resolutions so compelling for people? And why do we associate the start of the year with change and self-improvement?
Like it.
Why do people always start out with New Year's resolutions and self-improvement?
I have hope. I have hope. Look, this is my motto. Y'all don't laugh at me.
Yes.
2025, I'm going to be on time.
You were on
I'm
time
starting
today.
right
Love
now. I think this is the first time in a long time.
Thank
I'm
you,
proud of
Billy.
you, sis.
Thank you.
I think-
2025, I will be on time. So
Yes.
that's my. You got to start with something.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think one of the reasons why it's so compelling to people is because with a new year comes new beginnings, fresh starts, and it's an opportunity to redo, things over again. So whatever you didn't do right in that year, you get to kind of redo that. You get what I'm saying? So it gives you an opportunity to self-reflect, on what went well, what didn't go so well, and how you want things to go. And then it's an opportunity for you to, put your foot forward in the right direction. So I think that's why it's another.
I
why
tell
it's
people
compelling.
ain't nothing wrong with setting realistic goals. Cause people,
But they have to be realistic.
that's what I'm just saying.
Yeah, they have to be.
Ain't nothing wrong with setting realistic goals, even if it's something out of your reach. That's called manifestation. If you really know the spiritual walk, if you set
Take
a
us down
realistic
that walk.
goal and go to your plan and actually be consistent, you can actually hit your goal. Because a lot of people just throw something in the air and don't do nothing with it. It's like you can throw faith all day, but if you ain't working that faith, it's a dead doorknob. It ain't gonna do nothing. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You can punch a wall, but it ain't gonna do much if you ain't got no impact. You over here thumping. Like somebody say, I want to lose weight. Well, if you ain't never fasted and you don't understand discipline, how you keep having that drink to shrink and you ain't shrunk yet? You blinking, but you ain't shrinking yet. dog.
You're just growing. You're growing all year long.
Or if you just want muscle tone, you
Right.
got to understand the power of what can I do to tweak this. You got to set a goal and then also do the work for the goal. Like some people say, I want to make 6 figures. If you ain't never known what 6 figures look like, do you understand compound interest? Do you understand numbers? If you don't understand this stuff, how you gonna set a goal and don't do nothing? So if anything, I tell people, man, set a goal and then
And
be
baby
active.
steps, take those.
Not
those-
even baby steps, steps. The Bible
Yeah.
didn't say nothing about baby steps. He said the
Right.
steps of a good man are ordered. So use the steps. Just step. Just set a goal and be real with yourself and then do it. And and I'm gonna tell you something else. Get around people that's going in the same direction. It helps. If I'm around these kings and they positive, I'm gonna always be positive. If I go around a fool and it ain't April and they still fooling, how I'm gonna be positive in a room full
That's
of fools?
true now.
You kicking a dead horse. He dead.
Absolutely. Was it another question on there?
Yes. So, how do you personally approach New Year's resolutions? Do you set them or prefer to take a different approach to the new year? Well, for me, I personally, what I do is a couple of days before New Year's, I kind of just take a moment, take some time out by myself, get into that quiet place. I reflect on the whole year. I look at what I want to do, and like we were just talking about, setting realistic expectations, real goals for myself, things that I know I'm going to be able to reach. So they have to be measurable, right? And that's it. Just action. You got to put action behind it. I mean, you can say you want this, that all day long, but if you don't get up and put action behind it, the promises of God always come simultaneously attached to an instruction. You don't just get the blessings. You got to do something for that blessing. So you have to put effort into it. You have to. You can't just dream it. It's not gonna.
What I love about that, we serve a simple God. To the point he say, write the vision and make it plain.
Write the vision and
Why-
make it plain.
Why are you so confused?
Keyword plain.
Write it,
Plain.
make it plain, and map it out. like
it out.
I'm a visionary, so my stuff comes different than most. Cause if people that's not in the spirit of God, they'll think I'm a weirdo. Because God will tell somebody something, and then it happens. It
Right.
ain't just I'm blinking. Kamisha was in here. I told somebody something. I said I ain't say if. I said when it happens, can you put it in the group? Didn't they put it in the group,
I have a
Kamisha?
question that's not on here, but what would you say, Cordero, to a person who, for example, say last New Year's,
Mhm.
24, they created a vision board, they set their goals, they did all these different things to get, what they were envisioning to manifest for themselves,
Mhm.
but it didn't happen. What would you say to a person that didn't get to see their goals come into fruition?
The
Maybe
only-
they put forth the effort, but it just didn't happen. How would you?
I was just going to say I will question the application because there's
Okay.
no way you can look at a building, put the framework together, and it don't come to pass. That's because you was just sitting there watching TV. That's why it's called television. Are you lying to your vision? Are you putting purpose? Are you putting your purpose to work? Your purpose ain't gonna do nothing if you don't give it a 9 to 5. If you don't put it on a schedule, you booking vacation before you even start working. Are you being lackadaisical? I ain't never heard of that. It ain't just where they do that at. I ain't heard of that. If people set a vision and you got 10 things on there, you mean to tell me you ain't get one done?
You gotta at least have one. Yeah.
But it may happen.
The only reason I've seen that happen if I see people write something down and they just look at it and they don't do nothing with it. That's like writing paper down and you crumble it up and throw it in the trash can. And
All
you,
right, y'all.
and
So
you
you
hit
hear
a 3.
this? You guys got to put some action behind.
I ain't never seen that happen.
That's right.
It's been people in the group with us. I told them this is what I'm doing. I mapped out my plan. One of them copied one of my plans. He did it. It worked. But the other ones that was in the room didn't do nothing because what I do, I'm great at being an observation specialist. I sit back and watch. And I heard what they said they were gonna do, and they ain't do nothing. You can't get nothing out of a machine if you don't put nothing in it. That's your vision. You ain't gonna put nothing in there. You sitting up here looking at that soda machine. I'm gonna manifest that soda come out. Fool, put 75 cents in there and hit F10.
And watch that soda come out.
You retard. Hit F10. You over there. Oh, I hope this come out. That's not how they work. Your faith don't even work like that. If I want a job, I gotta go look for the job. I gotta apply myself. I gotta create my resume. Those are steps. If you got steps, that's why somebody, you need to be a coach. No, I ain't finna coach you nothing. I'm gonna tell you what I'm finna do. You can either watch me fish or learn along the way. When you do that, there's no way you ain't got no results. None. If you put a vision together and y'all do the work, this is what I always promise. There will be results. They may not be ideal,
Right.
but they're gonna be results.
You'll have some results, yeah.
How you ain't got no results? You can't put noodles in the microwave and don't hit nothing.
Just gonna eat some raw wet noodles.
These jokers
Raw
sound
wet
like
noodles.
chips.
You crazy. I know the
silly.
question talked about annually. I know it
Yes.
talked about annually, but sometimes we have to look at our goals that we have daily.
Yes, we
Like
do.
I literally have an alarm. I'm sorry, y'all.
Yeah,
This is one of the
no.
strategies y'all can use.
You can't say
Yes.
you
Be
sorry. It's good.
transparent.
I know,
Yes.
but I do alarms. I have
Yes.
alarms for everything.
Yes.
But to check my calendar in the morning,
Me too, girl.
and at 4:00 to check what did I do on that calendar?
Yeah.
What do I need to do tomorrow? What can I
Yeah.
squeeze in today? So that's a strategy to keep your commitment. Sometimes people can't go 365 and do
Right.
it. Some people have to go literally daily, and
ain't
sometimes
nothing wrong with
it's
that.
Some people do have
8-hour
to do-
shifts.
Yep,
You
that's
know,
right.
check it in the morning and check it in the evening.
Whatever.
That's how I graduated college. I wrote down my assignments on my syllabus, and as each week went, I knew what was coming. I worked my plan. I planned my work, and then I worked that plan,
That's
and that's how
right.
I got it through. But I failed some classes.
Yeah.
I took a little longer than other people,
Right.
but I got through, and I
You
know
got
I
your result.
I got my result,
your
and I'm
result.
still using it. So
Good job, Millie.
I just want to speak to those people that struggle. I will say this too. I know we all have had our struggles. You know, we all
Yes.
started from the bottom at some point, but there are some people that just have struggle after struggle. They get no trips.
Procrastination.
They get no food.
Yeah,
They have
yeah.
just a constant lifestyle of struggle. And that is the person I kind of want to talk to because we know, you
Yeah.
know what I'm
Yes.
saying? But this podcast is to help someone that's struggling what you need to do if you feel like you just keep running over a hurdle, running into a brick wall, death after death, bill after bill, no car breaking down, flat
went through
tire,
that.
all of that coming. How can you get something done?
I went through that.
I literally have a friend that is sick. His mother is sick. They're living in a hotel. They can't get into an apartment because the mama doesn't have the driver's license and doesn't have proof of who she is to get her medicine. And it's like, how can you breathe? but you're sleeping on of the floor of a hotel with roaches. You're cleaning up your mom. You know, you just how can a man, a king, rise when so many rocks and buildings and blocks are on their back? How can you stand up straight? How can you smile? You know what I'm saying? Let alone get through a to-do list for a day or to keep a commitment. You can't even see the commitment you committed to in January when March come. Yeah, you gave up.
You got reality.
Yeah. So you gotta think about those people that have to dig themselves up. They gotta dust themselves off. They just don't get a break. You know, they don't have family like us. You know, go ahead, Rita.
In moments like that, I think we have to remember to practice gratitude.
Yeah.
Because even in your worst moment, things could always be worse, but be grateful for life itself. Be grateful for that hotel room, even though it's not a palace, you know what I'm saying? But it's a safe space for you to be in.
Yes.
I understand it's a lot easier said than done, but we have to remember that that's life. It happens to all of us, and it's always coming a million miles a minute. Just be grateful for the situation that you have, because it could always be worse.
Absolutely.
And I always add to that, I said an airplane always have turbulence. Sometimes
Absolutely.
it can be smooth, and then sometimes it can be hell on wheels. You like,
But sometimes too, you have to make sure that you're not taking on too much, you know, because not everything that's coming your way, you're not called to save everyone and save everything.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And sometimes we put too much on ourselves trying
Ooh,
to
yes.
prioritize other people's needs versus our own needs, and we're drowning at the same time. So how can I save you if I'm drowning? How can I save you, mama? How can I save you, dad? How can I save you, brother? How can I save you, sis? If I'm drowning, no, I first have to save myself. And when I get to a better place,
Yes.
I'll come back and get you guys.
Yes.
You know, and sometimes we have to have that mentality.
and Millie said something key though, because I know somebody that's dealing with what she's saying, where he's taking care of his mama, he's taking care of his granny, and they both are ill.
They're both
So he's working a job, trying to stay with them because the brother don't want to help, the other brother don't want to help.
yeah.
But what are the resources to him available that he can use?
Listen, let me finish. So what happens is he has no choice at some time, because he got to go to work, take care of himself. Then he got to come home and still take care of it. He can't walk in and just catch a break sometime, because this one over here may need changing or something. So it's rough. But what he's done, he has some resources, but you know when they on Medicaid, they only gonna do so much. So by you knowing that's your mama, you not finna let nobody just do them any kind of way. And especially if you hands-on. Everybody ain't hands-on. Like me, I'm hands-on with my family. Everybody not like that. So if he's seeing it like they doing a okay job, let me take care of that. So sometimes you in a situation where you just gotta
can't help it.
you just gotta ask God to give you the strength and move through it. Cause that's how a lot of our forefathers and mothers, they had to go through that stuff. And you looking like, I can't see Saturday from Monday, but I'm gonna get through this day though. And then you got to see one day to the next day, and that's how you seen so many of them survive and get through it. Sometimes that's it. That's all you can do.
And just to always realize, hard times don't last.
They don't.
Always. So even though it's dark today, tomorrow you may see light.
Yeah.
So that day by day.
And this is why I love what we doing, because when I came into this industry, I came in telling the truth. I was like, boy, y'all lying. Why you sitting every time about you self-made? You married. They taking care of them bills. You only surviving in this business because they helping you. Or I came in saying, I ain't started like that. I was struggling. I was going through what Millie was saying. I done lost a mama, lost granny, lost a aunt before them, dealing with this hellbound person. Then I'm trying to go to school, and I'm paying bills in high school. I'm paying a light bill, a water bill, and I'm knowing you getting public housing. My sister I'm going through all this stuff. So when I got in on my own, I was actually advanced. Because people that was in high school that was the man, they couldn't pay no bills. So when reality hit them, they over here, I'm walking around, what 50 Cent say, damn, homie, in high school, you were the man, homie. What happened to you? You know what I'm saying? So, but that reality made me a monster in life.
Real life.
But the people that life wasn't lifing because they were getting spoon-fed, when they took their spoon away,
They know what to do.
they was destroyed. So sometimes God will set you up for a test that'll be your testimony
It'll stretch
later.
you and grow you.
And then now what it did was it equipped you.
That's right.
Because what you carrying now was going to make you greater later. Because I used to hear that, I'd be like, man, it wasn't that I didn't believe it. I'm just like, man, I'm trying to get through right now.
Right.
But then when it did get greater, now I understand that. So if I'm seeing somebody in that hole, I'm telling them, you'll come up out of there.
Always.
Just stay doing
Always.
this and keep this away from you.
Yeah.
That's why I tell people, too, when you going through stuff like that, your village is so important. Because people
It
like,
is.
I don't have nobody. Yes, you do.
Yes, you do.
Get around a person of peace.
Yeah.
At least one or two of them.
Right.
Yeah.
If you got a person of peace around you, you can go get that off your chest, and they ain't gonna tell your
And
business.
if you don't know who they are, pray and ask God to show you who
Yeah.
those people are, because He will reveal it.
Amen.
Because some people be like, I ain't got no vision. Get around somebody that can see.
I wanted to say something too. When you stated that, you got to fine tune your formula. When you got rocks on you like that, you got to know how to fine tune your formula. Meaning, when you good and then you Auntie gets sick and then Mama gets sick. When Auntie got sick, you should have fine tuned that formula a little bit. You should have figured out, okay, well I can't do this. I got to do this, or I need to get another job so that I can pay someone to come in at least for 2 or 3 hours so that you can take a shower, so that you can take a bath. So, because imagine someone getting off of work, coming in to take care of a sick person every day, every single day, you're doomed for depression. And when a man is depressed, he's not getting his hair cut, he's not bathing, he's not dressing, and then you can see it. You can see the downfall. But when you're doing what you're supposed to do to love on yourself, like Rita went on that cruise, she came back popping. You know, you loved on yourself. We can see it. You know, it's not a pregnancy glow. It's a glow because you're doing what you need to do to make sure that you're happy. And you got to fine tune that thing. Write that to-do list. I literally have been doing it. That is what you got to do. Write your to-do list, whether it's for the day, 6 months, or a year. Like I have spirals galore. Each page, I have a new date. And sometimes I have to put things from the previous day on the next day.
You got to that spiral I
But
gave
it's okay.
you?
I have it in my bag. I have it with me here in the studio.
Good job,
I
Millie.
use my spiral. And when you do that, people hear you and they buy you spirals. And then you appreciate it. It's $5, but that little $5 meant the world because I write. I plan. So those that are going through some things, it is okay. Like Kamisha said, trouble don't last always. It won't last always.
For real.
So hold your head up and get around, like Kadera said, get around some positive people that are climbing up the mountain. Not with those that smoking pot and got a bottle for every time you turn around.
'Cause them problems still
get
gonna
with
be there.
somebody making some money, honey.
Before we get to the next question, I want to hear from Kamisha twins.
Her
Yes,
twins.
they quiet over
Y'all can
there.
talk at any point.
Yes.
I want to, and I got one that's got not really a testimony, but that's got some stuff. But it's up to him if you want to talk about
Oh,
it.
okay.
But-
Who is that?
Put
them on the spot.
They look quick like, who you talking about?
We all talk. Yeah, we talk. I mean, like I said, for me personally, I mean, I had my ups and downs. Like I had points where I've been jobless and got an apartment, got evicted, staying in the house with the parents, trying to get myself together. At one point, got a call, got totaled, so I'm catching training buses to go to 2 different jobs, trying to take care of my kids and everything. And like I said, it don't last long because from I know me working 2 jobs, trying to make sure my kids good, make sure I got a roof over my head, like staying with friends, staying with parents, like just staying with different people around, and then just praying. Like that's my biggest thing. Pray.
Right.
I knew for sure like that's it does a blessing because I know one moment, oh, hey, this my homeboy, hey bro, I know this car place will get you a car. But you got $1,000 on you, or go hit them up, they get you a car next day. Call them. Hey man, we got your exactly my dream car. I always wanted the maximum.
Man.
Hey, got it. They hit next following month. Hey, got me an apartment, staying downtown.
Set them goals.
Got me a good deal downtown. Staying downtown. Now what? End of 2023, going 24. Got me a big apartment. I'm in now.
Come on now.
3 bedroom, 2 baths. So
Won't he do
it does work. Like I said, you go through these storms, they don't last long. Long as you, like I said, you got a goal or something set in mind, just keep staying on track, just keep pushing. You got your moments when I slip up here and there and stuff, but just keep pushing through. They definitely gonna work for you.
I have
Hey,
I have
I
a
could attest to
saying
that.
that I
For
like
real.
to that I always tell people and it just flew by my mind.
You're getting old. I'm playing.
That's how you know you get old.
Well, that angel does
41,
say,
41, baby. Be good to me.
you still young.
Still young.
Yeah.
I forgot I was gonna say, y'all.
Oh,
Just-
Lord.
It'll come back.
Next question.
We'll come back.
got you.
Senior citizen moment.
Okay.
You ain't no senior.
Oh, so
he say good.
might have
Nah, he
one.
finna say
This
something.
might. Oh,
Hold on.
Well, I was just gonna just piggyback. Yeah, so
Yeah, go ahead.
it's good to have a good circle, like with friends. You gotta have a good circle. Somebody you know that you can pray with, you can talk to,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that they can go
Yes.
tell your business in the streets.
That's
See
So
what I'm
right.
talking about?
you gotta
Right.
have that circle that can help.
Confidence,
Because
yeah,
you got nobody to
confidential
talk to.
friends.
Real
You don't
talk.
feel like you ain't got nobody. But I would like I say, talk to
Yeah.
the Lord. have good friends, and then family as well. Family plays a big
Real
piece in your
talk.
life as well as too. So yeah, like you say, trouble don't last long. Just pray, keep your head up, and just.
And here's
things too.
it came back to me.
Hold on. I'm proud of y'all, man.
Yeah.
For real, because y'all mama's baby. I can tell you got a praying mama. Because hearing how y'all talk, y'all mellow, y'all some young old souls like me.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
laid
just
back.
hearing y'all demeanor, man, I'm proud to see some young black men, bro. I'm proud of y'all, for real.
Thank you.
I be cracking jokes. I would say, I ain't your daddy, but I'm proud of you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Come on, Flo, before you forget. My
Right,
bad.
forget again, y'all.
I
Okay.
had to slide that
No,
one
I was
in.
just gonna say that our biggest lessons come from our most lowest moments. So when you find yourself in a low place, ask yourself, God, what is it you're trying to show me? What is it you're wanting me to learn out of this lesson? Because it's only going to make you better whenever he brings you out of that storm. It's going to make you stronger, better, just wiser. So there's always a lesson to be learned in those lowest moments.
When you go through stuff like that, I always say a strong tree is rooted deep.
It's rooted deep.
So when you in the
Gotta be
trenches
rooted
like
deep.
that, you in the mud and you going through it, you gonna come out of that. So when you see a strong tree, it's deep roots in the ground. Like we went through that. Now we came out. So that's why I say you got to get around somebody too that's fruitful.
That can water your roots.
If a person is fruitful, you gonna always grow. Because you will see in a season where you'll grow and you'll outgrow. Right. But I made this plain one day. I say even a tree know when to drop dead leaves.
That's right.
Because when you start growing, you're going to have to get rid of some stuff. And then you'll branch. I might not be the deepest connection, but I'm a branch to the tree. Right. So long as you connected to people like that, man, when you go up, I remember, I'll give y'all a quick one. It was me, my god brother, one of my best friends, my godfather, and we was all staying in the same house with 10 of us. We were rotating. One of them would sleep on the floor. I had a mattress right here. They get up and go to work. I get on a big couch. My partner get on a little couch. They get up. I go in the bedroom, and we rotated. But we all worked together, and we got it figured out. And then we weeded out all the people who were being irresponsible. Then it went from 10 people down to 3, down to 4. And then I started learning, like, we went through that season, but we was good because we was around people who got up and went to work, where nobody lazy, and we kept food in the refrigerator. So when you got a goal like that, man, it's nothing you can't get. Right. Even in your weakest moment, at least I got somewhere to stay. It's raining outside. I slept in my car one time. I said, man, I got to work 2 jobs. I ain't finna go home. I got access to a shower. I did what I had to do. So when sometimes people will do this, if you have a pity party, it's going to kill everything else. I know a guy right now, could have been homeless because his health was bad. He ran up a bag in Uber, went and bought one of them old Astro vans, turned it back into a bed. Then he went and bought a boat. Now he can sleep on a boat. Wow. Now he got a van, a boat, a motorcycle, and then he rented a car through Uber because I showed him how you can use a car through Uber. I said, if you making $1,500 a week, you paying them $300, you still got $1,200. Do 1,200 times 4. You have no overhead. Right. So when you showing people tools, even though he considered homeless, he got access to a shower. We got a gym membership. He got access to a boat, and now he got somewhere to lay his head. Right. You think he gonna be worried about what somebody else saying now? Then he learned how to camp. People be laughing. You see somebody with an RV, that RV that's paid for. You got access to a park. You can pay $80 for a whole year. You ain't paying $1,900 a month for rent, $2,300 for rent. You don't own that. I hear people with the old little flip rap. See it, want it, buy, own it. Own something and quit tripping. See, when you own something, it helps that next generation. Mom, I'm hurting. Boy, we got 5 acres. Go stay on the land. Go, you bought an $80,000 piece of junk. Go finance this RV and pay it off in 2 years. See, a lot of this information kills some things, but if once you know it, you have no excuse. Now you got to be held accountable. That's it.
So our next question was actually something that flows with that. It says setting resolutions for groups or families. Mm-hmm. So how can families or teams set resolutions together? What are the benefits of a group resolution, and how do you keep each other motivated?
That's good.
I think accountability, when you do it together, it's like I said it and you heard me say it, so I got to make sure I do it. But like Flo was talking about the jar or something of the blessings that you get, and I want you to elaborate on that. But definitely doing that as a group, as a family, it'll bring you together, especially if you have some, fusing, some sisters maybe into it, or just, that'll bring you together. It'll give you something to do that's on a positive note. But Flo, if you could explain what you were saying about the jar.
Yeah, so it's a blessing jar. So what I did was I gifted my daughter and her friends just like these empty jars, and what they're doing with them is every time that something good happens to them throughout the year, they'll write it down, fold it up, put it in there. At the end of the year, they'll be able to pull it out and see how many great things God did for them at the end of the year. So blessing jars, and there's so many different things that you can do with that jar. It doesn't just have to be that.
That's cool.
So
I think that's deep. It says, do you think that setting resolutions with a partner or a close friend is effective for success? And how do you balance supporting each other without feeling pressure?
Both of those work, because it's not pressure when you real. It's not pressure when you know for a fact what we got to do.
Right.
When you put something on the board, you looking at that and say, yeah, they got to get done. And how you make it real, you know that light bill come every 30 days. You know that rent come on the 1st and 15th. That's why I tell people, quit playing with your purpose and be real. See, when you be real, it kills all that dumb stuff. That's people don't like the word, but that's crazy. That's buffoonery. Why would you worry about something that ain't when you can focus on what is? Right. How can we get ahead of this? How can I kill my overhead and minimize all these bills, and now I free my money up? Now where can I put the money that's freed up? See, when you setting financial goals like that throughout the year with a partner and a significant other or whatever, it makes a difference. Because I tell people, too, you got to look at 12 months. If this joker don't want to pay the bills or they don't want to pay this, that's why you finna be broke. Because I told somebody this, I said, stop worrying about somebody paying half the bills and your stupid self paying all of them. You going to pay 100% of that bill and you got a partner willing to help you with half. I don't want no man with half. That's why you paying all of it. Crazy. You crazy. You going to pay that whole $1,800 when you could have had half of it.
Come on, ladies, get it together.
People don't look at it like this. I want a man.
Get you a 50-50 man,
hold
okay?
on. I want a man to take care of me. I ain't your daddy.
Right.
Don't no man want to take care of no. What they say? Don't no woman want to take care of no man. Don't no man want to take care of no woman either. You want me to die early trying to please you?
But the Bible tells you two is better than one.
Exactly. And not only that, it say where 2 or 3 are gathered in my name. It also talk about the power of agreement, because it's also power in disagreement.
That's right. That's true. Now,
Kadera, I love you.
I love you too.
He preaching.
I love you.
Yeah.
You are
I like that.
irreplaceable, okay? But my man want to take care of me. He did it.
and
It's
if you
by
find you
choice.
one that does, that's
They
a blessing.
do.
But you know, at the
This
same
man
time,
I saw he did a live reel. He said he was about to surprise his wife with $350,000.
Ungrateful, wasn't she?
Cash. No, she was not ungrateful.
What happened?
She was actually on the couch with their newborn. House clean. He walked in. He said, "Baby, I want to give you something. I want to give you $100,000 for being loyal. I appreciate." He gave her a stack, $100,000.
Yeah.
And then he said, "Baby, something else." He gave her another $100,000. And then he said, some, and he gave her another $100,000. And he said, "Baby, and just in case you want to splurge a little bit, here you $50,000 just to do whatever you need to do." Okay. So everybody ain't able, but even if a man came in and said, "I'm gonna give you $300," I'll take the $300. I'm not tripping on that.
But
Right.
that's you're proving my point.
What?
That person has an asset and not a liability. If a man has a woman who's having his back and she's his rider,
right.
But that's all we talking about.
You proving my point. I'm saying to a person who has an expectation with no delivery. You want a man.
No, we're not talking about that.
That's what I'm talking about.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about a true
I'm
relationship.
saying you ain't talking about that, but I'm answering the question.
Well, the question talked about, what was the question?
It was asking
two.
if would it bring success, to having a resolution with a partner or a spouse. It says, do you think setting resolutions with a partner or a close friend is effective for success?
Yeah.
And how do you balance supporting each other without feeling the pressure? I think that's a bigger part of it. Like, okay, if I decide to do a diet with Mr. Cruz, so we start at the beginning of the year, and I go hard on the diet. I can just legit have soup and salad, protein shakes the whole time, no problem. He need protein, like he needs some chicken breast, he needs.
Oh, he knocked out 2 or 3 of them.
Yeah, so he needs that part of it. Okay, now we on a diet, and I'm trying to support you, but I'm trying to tell you, like, okay, well, I'm making a little too much because we're supposed to be on a diet.
But is that helping them pick up weight or something?
Well, no, we're both trying to lose weight.
You have a goal.
Yeah, we both have a goal. But there's times where we're both working towards a similar goal, but I want to do it this way, you want to do it a certain way.
But y'all have to do it different because you're trying to lean and he buffing up.
So that's learning to support each other, finding that balance in between.
That's good.
Because at the end of the day, most of the time, I'm going to do the prepping part. You know what I mean? So that's just a little extra on me to have to prep. So understand, if I'm a little grouchy, by the time I finish prepping, it was for us.
I see what you're saying. That's support, and to me, that support and accountability is. It's not about money, but that is a way that a man can take care of the woman by saying, "Baby, you got that 2-piece, you got the 6-piece wing basket, baby, but
With
you
fries?
need the salad. Where's your protein chicken, baby?" Like that accountability will help you make the better decision. And to me, that's taking care of me.
Yeah.
Because that's helping me to make a better decision that's going to give me longevity so I can be here for you.
Yeah.
So that's important. Anybody else?
And to
Go
close
ahead.
that out too,
Uh-huh.
what I was saying was with success, with what I gave that reality check.
Mm-hmm.
When you looking at that plan and you agree or disagree, that's success in understanding it too. Because number one success in anything is understanding. What we gonna do this year? Are we gonna keep playing the same song, or are we gonna change up? Because sometimes it can be an uphill battle. Like, okay, I'm gonna go on this fast, and you say, well, I'm gonna say no real fast. So, and sometimes you have that is it torture? It ain't torture. Sometimes you had it where you know, okay, this joke ain't gonna act right, but I'm gonna do my part. So that's when you see when people be like, well, this person gonna take care of so and so and so. Well, that's what y'all agree on. Because if some people might be saying, hey, if I'm doing all of this, what are you gonna do? You can't just sit back and just watch me do this. Because here's another reality I tell people too. You gotta look at the what if. What if this person gets sick or fall ill, and if you ain't got nothing to sustain it, both of y'all finna fall hard. Those are the deals that can help you be successful too, understanding the preventative maintenance side. That's another piece.
Luis Allen in the chat said, real friends hold each other accountable. They push each other to do better and don't leave each other behind. They push each other to level up. Mika said, blessings jar. She said she likes that. And the power of agreement. Lewis Allen said, the Bible also says the man is supposed to provide.
Yes, Lord.
So, Mr. Lewis, I appreciate it because he is. Now, even though a man is supposed to provide, women, we help.
We're helpmates.
We helpmates.
Oh,
and
Louis
we
Allen, thank you for
too.
being on.
Yeah, that's your
Facebook
friend.
friend.
Okay.
Mr. Allen, yeah.
Thank
Mr.
you.
Allen, thank you.
So, yeah, we got to make sure that we can be supportive. Like, we can't just take, look for somebody to hold us up. Who are you holding up?
And we ain't trifling over here. Miss Rowland, she'll tell you I take care of mine.
Oh, we know you take care of yours.
I just tell people that, you got to be real with each other. This ain't back in the 50s and 60s.
No, you have to bring something, even if it's not financial. You have to bring something to the table. You got to add value.
I'm going to tell you something because you finna jab, but you also now you got women winning.
Right.
Yes.
You got a relationship now, the women up, and they looking at the bro like.
And that's okay, as long as he's bringing something to the table.
But this is what I'm saying. What I'm going point-wise, you have to have that agreement. So
Right.
if a person come in and say, well, hey, I'm already up over here, what you going to add to it?
Right.
Then you got to make that make sense. Because some
Well, I
people be
would
like,
say-
if you ain't matching what I have,
Right.
then that ain't it.
But I always say how something starts is how it ends. If you're coming in doing everything for a person, that's what they're going to expect the entire
that-
relationship. So you
again,
have to set those
that's agreement.
expectations right.
That's agreement.
And then-
Presentation and agreement.
Right.
And then you also know, if I'm talking to, like, I have a guy that's interested in me, I already know he don't have no money.
Right.
I already know that the young man don't have no money.
But what can
What
he
you
bring
say?
to
But
the
I can
table?
still go on a date with him,
Right.
or I can text him if I want to. But honestly,
Right.
if that's not what I need, why even go
Why
there?
entertain that?
Why even go there? So if I go there with somebody, you already know when somebody down. You already know they get paid on the 15th. And if it's the 14th, nah, boo, we going to have a ham sandwich because we know he hadn't got that check.
Nah,
But
for real.
You know when
Right.
somebody, now I ain't going to lie, when I got with my ex-boyfriend, he had so much money in his wallet. I was like, Lord, I don't know, Lord, I don't know. But it turned out that was all he had. You know what I'm saying? But it doesn't really matter the amount of money. It's about how you make me feel. It's about if I say I'm thirsty, did you go get me a drink? You know, and this is great that we're talking about this too. I know we're talking about resolutions, but we're talking about vows.
It's part of the
You want to
resolution.
make sure that the person that you're with is not just compatible because y'all both like the beach.
Right.
You want to make sure that you're compatible because your goals and your morals align with each other. And yes, you can have conversations about death. Yes, you can have conversations about money. Because if my man is short, best believe, I actually broke up when I broke up with my ex-boyfriend. I knew he was struggling. I'll give him money. I don't have no problem, boo. I'm going to give it back to you because you done already gave it to me.
Yeah.
I'm going to scratch your back even when we're not together, not for a long time. But, you know, just like when I got a divorce, my ex-husband didn't make sure I was okay. You know what I'm saying? He didn't say, oh, do I need to come cut the yard? Do you need me to come take the trash? He didn't do all of that, and that's cool. You know what I'm saying? We got to hold it down for ourselves, but at the same time, hold ourselves accountable with our friends, even just Cadero, Rita. If I know Cadero's struggling with something, or Rita or Kamisha, you need to talk more or whatever. I'm gonna say, Kamisha, did you do this? Kamisha, did you do that?
And you do.
And Kamisha gonna pull up with a spiral and say, Millie, did you write? And I'm be like, you know what, thank you, Kamisha, because I needed this. And that's what it's about. That's family, coming together. You know when your family member's struggling.
Keeping it honest with love.
Yeah, you know when they depressed. You can tell. They not crisp like they normally are. And then you pray for them, of course. But you might can throw them, chunk them a little something. I friend today, I know my friend struggling. I sent her $100.
That's right.
She was like, what's this for? This for you.
That's right.
I'm not going to sit here and know you struggling, and I'm not going to do anything for you. I struggle. Don't y'all get to calling me asking to borrow some money because I don't have it.
Right.
I need a phone at all.
No, seriously.
She say, don't ask for nothing.
Just please don't ask me for no
That's how
money
grandma say,
because
"Don't ask
I'm
me for
trying to
nothing."
get my own debt together, but I'm not
Right.
going to be a friend. Look, this is a true friend. Like, you want to be able to hold them accountable. Lift them
Ingrid
up.
said she has
Go
a jar
ahead,
of
go
mustard
ahead.
seeds on her table
Huh?
next to her bed.
I didn't hear you.
Ingrid
Says that she has a jar of mustard seeds on her bed. on her table next to
I
her
like
bed.
that, Ingrid.
Storms and chaos has been surrounding me here.
Love
When
it.
However, I found myself just picking up one of those mustard seeds out and rolling it in my fingers and saying, "Oh, mighty God, you said I just need the faith of a mustard seed." That
Oh,
is
girl, she
beautiful,
tryna make us
Ingrid.
cry.
I like that,
I
Ingrid.
love it.
Thank you.
Oh, she trying to make
Yes.
us cry. She said, with tears in my eyes, I just started praying, and the weight and tension started releasing in my shoulders. You would be amazed at what the visual of that mustard seed will do to your thinking. Oh, my God, I want to gift mustard seeds now.
Yes.
That was
That is
beautiful,
beautiful.
Ingrid. Y'all, that's our business highlight over at Unique Visions.
Yes.
Hey, she true.
I was wondering what the sound was.
There you go.
You got
We
it.
gonna make it work.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
Corey Nelson, what you got over there? Are we through with this topic, guys?
No, if you can't hit the topic, or
Before-
if you want to go to another
Before
question.
Corey go, I heard Mika say women can scratch a man's back like
Yes.
they scratch ours. It's not about
Always.
what can man do for me if you already coming with a table to up match.
That's right.
Ooh, I love it. See,
Yes.
This is why when I say stuff, man, I love God because He always sends somebody to confirm what I'm talking about.
What
She
you
just
say?
confirmed what I said.
Oh, Lewis Allen said the Bible also says a man is supposed to provide.
That's what she said earlier. Yeah,
Absolutely.
I think what he probably disagreed, but he didn't let me finish. But Mika caught the end of it.
Repeat what Mika said so I can gain an understanding.
She said women can scratch a man's back like they scratch ours. It's not about what can a man do for me if you already coming with a table to match.
Yes, I love to take care of my man.
That's why I say it's a power of agreement because if you coming together as a unit, right? Everybody starts somewhere.
Yeah.
Like when I was in the season, I came in with a trash bag full of clothes and a car. But I'm a builder. I rebuilt everything. I started over twice.
Yeah.
Because I left a whole house. I'm like, you acting crazy? This is what I'm doing? Bet you can have it. I come back. I came with nothing and had everything.
You won.
Did it twice.
You won.
Because my piece is everything. But when I got with my wife, because one lady was saying something one day, I said, I went in the season, I came in up, then my wife went way up.
Right.
Then it turned back around and I went up. But we
Yeah.
came in helping each other.
Yeah.
See, when you coming in and you a helpmate and not a crash mate and not a classmate, it's a big difference. So when sometimes when people hear something, they don't listen to the whole thing. They just start
Yeah.
grabbing stuff and not listening and say, well, man, you ain't let me finish, dog. Or you ain't let me finish, queen. So when you hear the whole thing as a totality, y'all sitting here so y'all understood because y'all would have been looking at me crazy like, bro over here tripping. but I'm a natural builder. And this is what I tell people too. If you a natural builder and a getter, don't get around a taker because they going to do way opposite of everything you doing. You know how to go get. They know how to go take.
Yeah.
You better not. You better not. What was you about to say? Somebody was going to pull something.
Okay, new question.
Okay.
New question.
Personal growth and transformation. Many people use resolutions to focus on self-improvement. In your experience, what kind of resolutions tend to lead to the most personal growth?
Mine is
good.
spiritual. And I have read the question one more time because I want to make sure I answer the question.
In your experience, what kind of resolutions tend to lead to the most personal growth?
So yeah, spiritual is the head. It starts spiritual in my mindset. That's what pushes me through my daily to-do list. Are you going through the questions over there? Wow. You supposed to be letting God lead us. But go ahead and do your thing.
He say,
accordingly, y'all.
But literally, that spiritual connection, working out honestly is spiritual to me too. I really get into my own mind. You know, I really find it's relaxing. Like how you feel when you came off that cruise, relieving. I am relieved. If I don't lose a pound, I did something.
You took
You
some
know,
stress off of you.
yeah,
That's right.
I removed some stress
right.
out of
It's
me.
part of your self-care.
It's
That's good,
fun.
though. Yes.
I love motivating
Positive.
people. They motivate me. I make a little money at the gym.
Right.
You know, so that's my office. But spiritually is where I have grown the most when it comes to my resolutions. It helps me overcome my resolutions. Praying,
good.
being led by God.
I second that.
I think the Bible also says that I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. So
You
when
said you think the Bible says
I think,
that?
I'm sorry.
Uh-huh.
The Bible does say. Perdón, perdón.
Yes.
Boy, I'm
So
about to say
I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. So anything that you set out to do, if you're doing it in Christ, He's going to give you the strength to carry it out. So that goes back, just like I pick it back off of what Millie says. For me, it's a spiritual thing, you know. Put God first, and all things shall be added.
It'll flow.
You know, it'll all flow together, and
Flow.
so the flow. Yeah. So and then just staying committed to those, you know, to that, committed to God first, and I think everything else just begins to fall in place.
I always
That's
do.
the key.
I do a lot of recapping. When I do stuff,
You do a lot of capping. No, I'm just
Nope.
joking.
look.
Wait a minute.
That's what's wrong with black folks.
Ay, soy cubana.
And speaking of the Bible,
Soy
that fell on
cubana.
deaf ears. She heard cap, I said recap. That's what's wrong with black people. Listen, Linda.
Soy
Listen, Linda.
Soy cubana. Soy cubana.
Listen, Linda. Tijuana got dog. In the words of Lil Durrell, leave me alone. Leave me alone. But anywho, I do a lot of recapping because in order to, I always say before you point a finger, you got to look within.
That's
That way
right.
you don't go with that. So I always
Ooh,
do
that's
recapping
good.
and seeing, okay, where am I weak at and what can I do to strengthen that weakness? Okay, what can I change to improve myself on this end? So before the year ends, I'm already set up. I look always like 5 years ahead.
Right.
So I'm not even in 2024, 2025. I'm in like 2030. Because when you look like that and move a certain way, you will see things quantum leap. But if you only looking at 12 months, a month, a day, everybody's mind's different though. My goal, because I learned it from somebody else, when you pray for guidance, God don't even move in time, but He can show up on time. So my mind started looking at God. I'm like, well, how do you do that? Well, show me, how can I get this over here and this done in 3 years? And so asked for 3 years, happened in 12 months. So now that 3-year deal done got accomplished in 12 months. Now I'm on another 3 years. So I done got 6 years worth of stuff done in a year and a half. But it depends on what are you setting up to have a resolution. Because like the 3 P's I give is your purpose, your problem, and a program. But if you don't have your problem, how you gonna have a solution to the problem? You gotta identify the problem.
So I get that in some aspects, but then we have to also understand that a resolution is not a requirement because
No.
the reality is some people are living their dream. And so don't feel forced to have to make a
'Cause
resolution
you
in a
don't.
lot of situations because, okay, like prior to the pandemic, people being like, oh, I want to make, $200,000. I want to make $300,000. After the pandemic, people were making $1 million every 2-3 months. You know what I mean? But at the same time, they have all these lavish things, but are they really enjoying their life? Are they really loving the life that they're living? Are they having to hustle harder just to maintain the lifestyle that they've built for themselves? And it's okay to live in a 3-bedroom, 1,500 square foot home,
Nothing wrong
if
with
that's
that.
what your goal is.
100%.
Don't make somebody else's goal or somebody else's resolution force you into a situation that you don't want.
Oh, you gotta have yours.
So we gotta also make sure we remind people of that because it's okay if you're only in a 2-bedroom apartment. If your car's paid off and you don't have any student loans, congratulations. You know what I'm saying?
You don't have to
succeeded.
keep up with the Jones. That's why I
Yeah.
say set realistic goals. You can't look at somebody's now and compare that to your now. It's too different. You don't.
Yeah.
I tell people stop comparing your reality to theirs because they're showing you the finished product.
Right.
You didn't see the process of that. And so once you understand where you are and where you're going, you have no business letting that interrupt what you got going on.
They could be showing you the finished product or they could be showing you a facade too.
It's
So
a
we got to
finesse.
remember we live in a world of portraying an image.
Yep.
And that doesn't mean that we're lying about the life that we're living, but I only want to show so much. So understand that I'm not showing my struggle. That's not the normal thing to do. And then if you cry on social media, people say, oh, you begging for tears, you're begging for views or whatever. Just live the life that you want to live. Don't force yourself to be somebody else. Don't seek somebody else's goals because that's not for you. it's not for you, and it's okay. It's
You're
okay.
gonna take longer to get to the end goal to copying somebody else.
It's
Oh,
That's
yeah.
way
not for
longer.
you.
Way longer.
That's why when you hear me say reality check, you got to check yourself before that. When you check yourself and know where you're going, that has no business interrupting what you got going. Period.
I really,
And-
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And
No,
then
go ahead.
when you understand your call and say, okay, I know what I'm doing. It's like finding your lane. Once I find my lane, I'm not finna go over here and start looping because you say, oh, this is the perfect way to loop. There's no such thing. I have this, you have that. That ain't this ain't that. But whatever you got going, do that. Stay in your lane. If you know this is winning, I'm good where I'm at. Cool.
You were speaking on reality check, and that was in this question, so I wanted to definitely piggyback. It says it is important to check in with your resolutions regularly throughout the year. How do you suggest people assess their progress or reassess their goals?
Mm-hmm.
You have to just revisit what was your initial goal. If it was something, if it's to lose weight, okay, you say you wanted to lose weight, but you didn't put a number on it, it's going to be hard to gauge what happened.
Measurable goals.
Yeah, measurable goals. But also take pictures. That's another way to measure something, because how happy do you look in your photos? Like that'll let you know if you're reaching your goals or not.
Mhm.
Of course, if you're going to school, checking your progress, how many A's, B's did you make? Did you pass the amount of courses? Did you do what was necessary for the degree plan? If you need to intern somewhere, did you find a location for you to intern? Everything has to be measurable in order for you to find out whether or not you're doing it. And it might be 3 months check-in. You might not be there yet, and that's okay. It might take that whole 12 months, as Cordero was mentioning. It might take the full amount of time, or you might get finished early. You might get an accelerated program, and it worked out for you. But it's okay just to keep reassessing. And if you're not there, that's fine. Just set another goal that's now attainable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and data trackers.
Yeah.
I do that in school with my students. If I have a student that can't get angry or has to follow directions or have to do what's being told, I do data. If I have to tell you 3 times, okay, it took them 3 times. Okay, it took them 2 times.
Yep.
And then when I have to report on their annual goals, I can say, well, on this day he did this, this, and this, which is better than this time, or it's worse.
Yeah.
Something that came to my memory when you said that was Rick Ross. He said, I can partner with anybody. He said, I don't have a problem if it takes us 2 years, 10 years, cool, but don't waste no time.
Right.
And if it takes 10 minutes, 10 days, cool, but if it takes 10 years, as long as you waste no time, that's wisdom.
Yeah.
That's why you're supposed to follow mentors or choose people that are doing what you're doing, like you said, Cordero, and that have results. This man got a whole jet. I know you can't get a jet if you ain't got it, okay? He got it.
Yeah.
He got a yard full of cars. Every car, you name it, bike, golf, car, whatever.
Yeah.
He has car shows. He
On
can't
his
even
property,
maintenance his
right.
cars.
Yeah.
His cars are rotting, honestly, but he has them. You know what I'm saying? So,
They got a service
and it's
team.
not about manipulate, what people have, material things, but you want to listen to people that can prove that the formula works.
Have the proven results.
Proven results.
This why I say, man, get around people that's relatable and not deflatable. When I came in,
Hold on, wait a minute.
Hey,
Don't try to
real
go
talk.
past that real quick. Say it one more time.
One more time.
get around people that's relatable and not deflatable.
Okay.
Go
Hey,
ahead.
real talk. Hey, look, he nodded here. He liked it up. My brother.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
because I also say, look at people you can model behind. Ain't no example better than a great example. See, when I model after my grandmother, I model after a pastor that was, I model because he took care of the community. Not by himself, but people came together and they helped each other. So as a visionary, when I seen it as a kid, I move like that now. Anybody around me that know me for real, you done caught a bag off of me. You done caught a blessing off of me. Not saying me. I learned that from somebody. When we was young, the first thing an old person say when they see you doing something, who you get that from? Because you either a person that really gonna help and connect. You don't owe me nothing because I plugged you in. I done caught a blessing off of Millie. Millie done caught one off of me.
Absolutely.
We all help each other.
Network.
Nobody's at each other's throat. So when you have a real resolution, the solution's gonna be active. We got active solution. Then you get a crib, then you get a car, then you get a plug, then you get a plug. Yeah, so what we complaining about? So when you're moving like that in a room full of
real.
solutions,
Come on, Cordero.
you always dumb down them nonsense problems. When I got around some intelligent people, it was healthy. There was no drama. We might had a slight life-changing event, but it wasn't no ongoing
It wasn't a roller
hell-raising
coaster.
events.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm like, we had slight, like you said, data. I start looking at the people I'm around. I'm like, Well, we've been winning. Even when it looked like we was losing, we had enough capital or we had enough mental space where we said, hey, he ain't it. Get him out of here. Or get her out of here. They doing too much. Especially we done warned you and told you, hey, chill out. And you come in here, rah, 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 kill that noise. Because we ain't the problem. We got the solution. Why you come in here throwing a firecracker in a room full of silence? You tripping. So when you moving like this, I tell people, get around people who got grace, who got peace, and who know how to get stuff done.
Absolutely.
You eliminate all that nonsense, and it's a slim chance that it happens. And even in the slim chance of it happening, you still can move with a peace of mind. It's healthy.
Absolutely. Kadero, I want to end on this question. It's
Shout out to
number
Paul
7.
Booker.
Yeah, shout out to Paul. This is number 7. 7 is the number of completion, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I would love for our newest host to read this question to end us for tonight.
Florita.
Florita.
That's speak Spanish before you do it. Do it.
Una noche bien buena aquí con mi gente.
I didn't hear you.
You want me to say it again?
Yes.
In Spanish?
Yeah.
Una noche bien buena con mi gente.
Okay. Thank you. Go ahead.
Mucho bueno.
All right. So, what advice would you give someone who feels disappointed by not achieving their resolutions from previous years?
Mm-hmm.
How can they approach their goals in a healthy way moving forward? So, I think that kind of just goes back to what Rita was saying: reassessment, like just reassessing, doing some self-reflecting and just figuring out like what didn't go good and why did it not go good? You know what I'm saying? Like what about those goals made it hard for you to achieve, or so you just kind of just go back to assessing and reevaluating yourself.
I always break it down like this. You got real and you got fake. When you look on that list, was this real?
Hold on, I want to tell you one thing. I was going to tell you, I wasn't done yet.
Well, finish. Go
You
ahead. You stop.
Okay.
You
No, I
stop.
was going to say, so my encouragement would be just never quit. Just keep going.
Never quit.
Even if you didn't reach all of your goals we
My
talked about
bad.
earlier, just keep moving.
Never give
Keep-
up.
Yeah.
Don't give up. And I think that's one of the biggest things that I've learned in my life. Like,
Perfect.
don't give up. No matter what it looks like, keep going. If you got a vision, you got your goals, and you didn't make it, that's okay. Just keep going.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I'm with it. So,
Sorry, Cordero.
No.
what I want to say is we have some amazing announcements, but to start, our next show is going to be Homesteading 101 and Purchasing Land. Y'all know.
Your mic cut out.
Got mine?
Okay, it sounds like it's working out. There you go.
Mic check. Y'all hear
Perfect,
me, people?
perfect.
Y'all hear me? Okay. So, our next show is going to be January 10th. It's called Homesteading 101 and Purchasing Land. Make sure y'all have y'all's pen and paper because this is a really big topic. It's very, very popular, and I foresee the future leading this way. So
Yes.
get your pen and paper. Make sure you're tuning in January 10th at 7 p.m. And the show after that is going to be The Friends Circle.
Yes, it's gonna be juicy.
That's going to be real juicy because the friendship circles, they got a lot of angles, you know? It's a lot of angles in that circle. So,
Good.
we're going to be talking about that January 25th at 7 p.m. So make sure you're tuning in second and fourth Fridays. We're going to be here. All right?
Yes. Okay. Now we're going to talk about the upcoming events. Okay. So, like we stated before, the purpose of this podcast is to advertise for business owners. So when we're out at these events, you guys, we're going to have our girl Flo will be at the events, interviewing, bringing in new guests, keeping the party going. The next event will be in Irving, Texas with our girl Autumn Young. It's the Meeting of the Minds. Our boy Cadero and myself will be speaking at this event. This is January the 4th. So come on out. If you need any more information, hit us up. The address is 315 Airport Freeway in Irving, Texas. You guys, I put this on the on our agenda. I haven't talked to you guys about it. That's my fault as a leader. I apologize.
Apologize.
Smokey D's wants to partner with our podcast. We've partnered with them. They sponsored us before. They gave us meat, but they want to literally work hand in hand by feeding
out
the
to Smokey
homeless,
D's,
and they
man.
want us to provide toiletries
Yes.
and the non-food items
Yes.
for the homeless. So we will be accepting donations. So if you are a person that loves to give and loves to help the homeless, Smokey D's got the food.
Shout out to Smokey
But we're going to
D's.
bring in baby wipes, hand sanitizer, hot hands, blankets,
care packages.
care packages, anything that first aid kits, sanitary napkins for women, those non-food items, we would love for you guys to donate them. If you want to drop off or you need to pick up, just let us know. We will be helping them. I believe it's every second Saturday of the month. Every second Saturday, and I believe the first one is the 11th of January. And we'll be at the parking lot next to the Dallas City Hall. Normally we feed in front of the City Hall, or it's the front or the back by the library, but it's to the left of the City Hall in the parking lot. Smokey D's will have the food, plates, and we'll be providing toiletries for the people of the community.
I love it.
And follow us
Yes, go
on
ahead.
Instagram, Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube channel at the _Lion_experience, at the Lion Experience Podcast, and you can email us experiencethelion@gmail.com.
That's good.
Absolutely. We thank you all for joining our show tonight. Thank you for liking,
Yes.
sharing, engaging
That
in the
was good.
comments.
Thank you.
We appreciate y'all.
Yes.
Please share this and have your friends to join our group. We need our numbers to go up. 2026, excuse me. I'm ready for 2026, y'all.
Yes.
I'm ready for
Yes.
2025.
And I'm trying to be on time.
I'm ready for
Yes,
2026. But 2025 is going to be lit. Our next show is
Yeah.
the first show of season 9. Okay,
Yes.
season 9, y'all. We are moving. Time ain't waiting on nobody.
Nobody.
We thank you for your support. If you are a business owner and you want to be on the show, please put it in the
Yes.
comments, DM us. We got you.
Yes.
Let's
All
go.
right.
Peace and
And
increase.
we out.
All right. Thank you.